This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Good morning and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Monday, May 16. In Squiz Kids Today, mice plague returns to Aussie farms. Ukraine wins Eurovision. Australia's best child artists and teaching a giraffe how to walk. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
Can you hear that? That rustling sound in the bushes? The sound of tiny claws on corrugated iron? Well, maybe you can't hear it from where you're sitting, but plenty of Aussie farmers are hearing that noise again and fearing the worst as signs are beginning to emerge that the mouse plague has returned. If it doesn't seem all that long ago since we were talking about a mouse plague in New South Wales and Queensland, it's because it wasn't all that long ago. Barely a year, in fact. But since La Niña has dumped so much rain across so much of Australia's farmland, creating plenty of food for mice to eat, there has been another explosion in rodent numbers in rural properties from Western Australia to western parts of New South Wales. Farmers in Western Australia's wheat belt and farmers in places like Dubbo in New South Wales have started to report a spike in the number of mice scurrying about their grain silos and feeding off their crops. So, how do mice plagues become such a problem so quickly? Well, consider this. From the time they are 6 weeks old, mice can have up to 10 babies every 3 weeks. And once they've had one litter of 10 baby mice, they tend to fall pregnant with the next litter of 10 baby mice pretty much straight away. Ew. And yes, I know, mice might be cute to look at and even sometimes to have as pets. Not my thing, but each to their own. But when they're allowed to breed uncontrolled and destroy crops that people rely on to eat or for a living, well, that's when they become a problem.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Italy, where the world has shown its support for war-torn Ukraine by backing it in for the win at the Eurovision Song Contest. Ukraine's entry, a folk hip-hop band called Kalush Orchestra, won by a landslide with 631 points, far ahead of the United Kingdom, Spain and Sweden. My favourite entry, Norway, with its song Give That Wolf a Banana, finished a disappointing 10th place. I mean, really, with deep and meaningful lyrics like that, how could they have not won? Taking out 15th place was Australia's own Sheldon Riley with his song Not the Same, who did incredibly well to make it into yesterday's final. Tradition dictates that whichever country wins Eurovision hosts the event the following year. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, who is at the moment busy fighting a war against Russia in his country, yesterday said he looked forward to there soon being peace so Ukraine could host the event next year. Here's hoping.
Animal Kingdom.
And so to San Diego in the United States, where doctors have successfully fitted a baby giraffe with leg braces to help her walk. Back in February, when Mitsui the giraffe was born, vets at her home of the San Diego Zoo noticed her front legs were bending the wrong way. So they called in a doctor who specialises in leg braces for kids, and he created an oversized set of leg braces just for Mitsui. The little giraffe learned to walk with her leg braces, allowing her to keep up with the rest of the herd and feed from her mum. And now, 3 months later, the braces have done their job and come off, and little Miss Suey is walking around with the best of them. I've stuck a link to video of the exotic animal miracle in today's episode notes. Because it's a Monday, and we all deserve something cute on a Monday.
Squiz Kids salutes.
A very important art exhibition opened in Sydney on Saturday, featuring the winner of the Archibald, the most prestigious portrait prize in Australia. A portrait, as your art teacher has probably told you, is a piece of art that depicts a person. This year's winner is the artist Black Douglas, who painted his friend artist Carla Dickens during the terrible floods in Lismore earlier this year. And while Squiz Kids does salute Black Douglas, we're especially excited about the young Archie winners, which will be hanging alongside Black Douglas's work at the Art Gallery of New South Wales for the next 3 months. A record 2,400 kids from all over the country entered, and the 70 finalists' work includes self-portraits as well as images of friends, grandparents, parents and siblings, created in charcoal, pencil, paint, even texture and crayon. In case you can't make it to Sydney to see it for yourself, I've put a link in your episode notes to the finalists' work. And if you're a Squiz Kids for School subscriber, you'll be able to learn a lot more about these paintings in today's classroom companion literacy activities, which is so much fun that you'll hardly even notice that you're working on sentence-level grammar. Teachers, sign up for a 30-day free trial at squizkids.com.au and see how much time and effort will save you using news to teach the curriculum.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What sort of animal are Australian farmers getting ready to do battle with over fears their numbers could hit plague proportions again? Yeah, that's right. They're mice. Question number 2. What's the name of the zoo where Mitsui the giraffe was fitted with leg braces? Yeah, well done if you got that one. It was San Diego Zoo. Question number 3. Which country won this year's Eurovision Song Contest? Yeah, it was Ukraine.
Shout-outs.
It's May 16. Today is International Day of Light, in recognition of the crucial role light plays in scientific advancement. If you've got a science class today, stop and think about all the amazing technologies that are enabled thanks to light. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Billy from Cannon Hill, Jade from Turramurra, Emma from Woodville, Annie from Beecroft, Dia from Forest Lake, Jasmine from Essendon, Claire from Kempsey, Charlie from the Sunshine Coast, Audrey from Sylvania Waters, Spencer from Curtin, and Charlotte, who's listening all the way over there in Whistler, Canada. And belated birthday wishes go to Matthias from Five Dock, Delilah from Brisbane, Lola from the Gold Coast, and Loxley, who's currently travelling around Western Australia. And classroom shout-outs today go to Class 6R at Winona School in Sydney, Class 5 6R and Miss Reynoldson at Griffith Public School, and the students in Class MC Junior with Miss Finn and Mr Jackson at North Lakes High School. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.